Hi there, I'm wearing the Rhinomed Mute snoring aid, but I don't wear it because I snore, because I don't really snore, although my wife would probably tell you I do. But I've had nose problems my whole life. My nose always runs. But when I would get sick and get a sinus attack when the nose was so blocked up I couldn't breathe, I would wear the Breathe Right nasal strips. And I discovered something that I can't really medically or scientifically prove, but I have a suspicion or a hypothesis that the way the sinus strip provides some kind of pressure point on your nose that I realized it would make my nose stop running. So even if I had a runny nose with sinus blockage, which you think, how does that happen? But you know it does if you had a cold. Your nose would run, but you also couldn't breathe. I would put the nasal strip on. This is the Breathe Right, not the Mute. And my nose would stop running and I would be able to breathe. Another thing I noticed, this is totally unrelated, but if you have a blocked up nose, if you're physically capable to perform a plank, the exercise of a plank, if you hold it for a minute straight, after about 39 seconds, your some of the blockage will start to release. The first 30 seconds you'll think this isn't going to work. My nose is still blocked up. But around 39 to 45 seconds, you'll start to feel like that blockage start to break up. Now, how do we take it to this mute strip here? Well, because I noticed the Breathe Right was so effective at making it possible to breathe, and I suspected it's because there's a gland or something that once it's released, it allows you to breathe. It stops the mucus from producing. And I love what the Breathe Right strip does. However, the adhesive would stick to my face, and I figured over prolonged use, I can't really use this Breathe Right all the time. I use it when I absolutely need it. They work superb, but I wanted to find a way to get the same benefits without tearing up the skin on my face from every time I would pull the Breathe Right off. Even if it says it's the sensitive skin one, you still end up with a sore face and like adhesive residue left over, and you can't really do it day in day out all the time. I even looked in to see if there were any like cosmetic surgery procedures, but they all seemed really painful, and they didn't seem to they seemed to solve the problem, but it looked like if you got hit in the nose, you're going to be in a world of pain. So then I thought there's got to be somebody out there, some creative genius that came up with something to solve this problem, and I found it. So this is it. It's in my nose. So if I've only found the clear kind, and the problem with the clear version is that if somebody doesn't know you're wearing it, they'll think that your nose has like a big glob of mucus coming out. So Rhinomed Mute, they may consider making like different colored versions of this product that's not the color of mucus, because like I said, other people might think you have like a big glob of mucus coming out, which isn't the case. But aside from the aesthetics, I mean, it is fairly concealed. You could see how it works. Here, I'll take it out so you could see it. And I thought after this has been in my nose for about 3 hours, and I thought when I would take it out there'd be just globs of mucus, but there isn't. My nose is a little itchy now. There's there's no residue because for whatever reason this causes your nose to stop running, which is the goal that I had. Also to make it easier to breathe. Did the mic pick up that? This is how my nose normally sounds without this. You know, you can hear it, right? It's no good. It's what I have to live with. So I'm looking for remedies. This thing makes it amazing. It stops the nose running and it makes my nose passage easy to breathe. Now, there is a right way and a wrong way to put these things in. You'll see that it's curved, right? Also, let me just put this in so you can see how this works. You just kind of put it in there, and man, my nose is so wide open now to breathe. And it doesn't really adjust my voice too much. You would think, like if you hold your nose, my voice is slightly altered because there is something in my nose, but it's not that dramatic. Now, if you're going to buy these, I recommend at first there is Rhinomed Mute, they came out with this variety pack where it has a small, medium, and large. Not everybody's nose is the same. They don't have one size fits all. They have three size fits three sizes. And I chose the small size. I thought I had a big nose. I mean, I think I have a beautiful nose, but I always thought it was large, but it's not compared to some other people. Other people have medium-sized noses, and others have large size. The large was just way too big for my nose. Even the medium was. The small, which you see here, fits perfect. I mean, it's perfect. It almost feels like they designed this exactly for my nose. So, that's my story. If you have any insight onto my little hypothesis about the breathe right strip and the mute, here's my theory again. It's that I don't know if it's a gland or whatever. So this is just going in my nose, and this stops my nose from running. But the breathe right, which, it gently pulls on these sinuses. Well, one, just doing that, and I'm so gently touching, it opens up the passages. But it also holds it open. And I feel like that pressure or just the touching turns off the mucous membrane. Everything I'm saying is not science or medical, because I don't have any. I just have my experience, and I know that when I put the breathe right on, if my nose is running furiously, it just stops running. It stops running. If I put the mute in, my nose stops running. And the mute, also my nose passages, like sometimes I don't know if it's an allergy thing or what, but like they'll just kind of get like if they touch sides, it causes the mucus to run, or it causes it to dry up, or whatever the case. My nose needs to be opened up, like the nostrils. They needed to be. The breathe right opens the nostrils, and this mute thing opens the nostrils. When that happens, so like the inside doesn't touch each other, it causes less nasal issues, whether it's a runny nose or sinus pressure, which are like the opposites. Either way, both the mute and the breathe right resolve it. For heavy duty issues, go with the breathe right. For day to day, this mute is the way to go. Now, here's the sales pitch. I really did make this for people out there that have nasal problems. I suffer them my whole life, and if I could help anybody else learn my techniques to cope with it, that's great. But there's also the other side. If you're in the market to buy one of these, I have a link. I'm an Amazon influencer, and I have a link in the description below. I get a tiny little commission, so if you're in the market to get something like this, use my link. Otherwise, I hope that either the mute or the breathe right help you out, and I hope this video was of some use. So thank you for watching, and maybe I'll see you next time. Have a good one. May the force be with you.